Hey, what's up you all? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be sharing what are the treasury bills and how do they work. We'll talk about how to calculate the return on your investment for whatever period of time that you're investing in treasury bill using CD calculator. We'll be precisely talking about what are the treasury bills, how do they work, what you can think in terms of the T-bill. They're also known as T-bill. We'll talk about key takeaways, what you should be looking out for, understanding the treasury bill or T-bills in more details. I'll share step by step as to how you can buy treasury bills. We'll talk about T-bill maturities as well. In addition to that, T-bill redemption and how the interest earned will be calculated. If you are trying to purchase treasury bills, how you pay taxes on your treasury bills. On T-bill, what you should be considering in terms of the tax consideration. And on the top of that, we'll be talking about how the CD rates are working at the moment, what you can think in terms of the brokered CD. I have talked about brokered CD or brokered certificate of deposit in my previous video. I'll be linking this up on this video so you can click on it and learn more about broker CD or brokered certificate of deposit as well. You might be hearing a ton about interest rates are rising, the home mortgage is rising, and you might be wondering stock market is going down and where do you park your cash? If you have cash, you can take the advantage of rising interest rates. Very great return on the investment at the moment. You can invest treasury bill or T-bill, relatively very safe return on investment and safety in terms of your cash that you want to park for a short period of time. Without further delay, let's get into it. In return, all I ask you is just to hit the like button. Please do not forget to click on the like button if you get any value out of this video so we can reach out to more and more people. If you're looking for more of these videos, click the subscribe button as well so you can get notified and get recommended when I post similar videos. There are great returns out in the market just for parking cash, and I want to make sure that you can take the advantage of the treasury bill or brokered CD or the bank CDs or whatever it is. Let's get into it. If you use bankrate.com CD calculator, I'll put the link into the description below. Using this calculator, you can also calculate how much money you're going to make based on the interest rates that you're getting. As an example, in this particular example, I have $10,000 as my initial deposit and I'm looking for 52 weeks, the period of 1 year. Now, if you take a look at this 1 year period, you are getting, as an example, $4 and 4.60% return on your investment, which means at the end of 1 year, you will be getting $460 in terms of the return, which means your total cash that you parked $10,000 turns into $10,460, which is how you calculate. Now, if you want to calculate in terms of the month, you just click on the month and just go with 6 months as an example. With $460, you are earning $227.41, which means if your initial deposit is $10,000, that turns into $10,227.41, which is your total balance at the maturity of any T-bill, any brokered CD, or any bank CD. Now let's get into it. What are T-bills or treasury bills? Treasury bills are known as T-bills as well. A treasury bill is a short-term US government debt obligation backed by Treasury Department with a maturity of 1 year or less. So think about when you are investing in T-bills, you're looking for a short period of time. In return, you get larger interest rates, typically higher than the bank CD. Treasury bills are usually sold in the denomination of $1,000. However, some can be maximum denomination of 5 million and in non-competitive bids. These securities are widely regarded as low risk and secure investment, obviously. You may ask me a question as to why this is safe and secured. The reason is it is backed by short-term government debt obligation and it is also backed by the Treasury Department of the United States, which is the reason why you can get and why you can have peace of mind if you're parking as high as $5 million into the T-bill. I am not a financial advisor, and I would strongly recommend that you reach out to your financial advisor, licensed professional, or your accountant or CPA before you make a deal or before you start investing. This video is only for the entertainment purposes and educational purposes. However, we talked about brokered certificate of deposit and I got a very good response. If you haven't checked that video, I would strongly recommend you also check that out. What are the big takeaways for Treasury Bill? Let's get into it. A Treasury Bill, basically, if you can see on my screen, is a short-term debt obligation backed by the United States of Treasury Department with a maturity of 1 year or less. You can start with a few days and go as high as 52 weeks, which is 1 year, within your investment, and you can park your cash with relatively higher interest rates that is available into the market. Right now could be a great time as to when we are seeing high interest rates. You might be seeing that the interest rates on home mortgage is as high as 7%. Now, when the interest rates are higher, every single instrument where you can also get the return on your investment or interest on the money that you're parking with the bank or with the treasury or with the brokered CD within your brokerage account, you are earning higher and higher and higher interest rates. Treasury bills are usually sold in the denomination of, once again, 1,000 US dollars, while some can reach with a maximum denomination of a $5 million. The last but not the least is the longer the maturity date, obviously the higher the interest rates that the T-bill will pay to the investors. We'll look into how you can buy Treasury bill later in this video, as well as I'll share the current interest rates on the T-bill, and you will be surprised how much money you can make. Once again, you can use this CD calculator and calculate how much money you can earn in interest based on the initial deposit and the time period that you're putting the money within the Treasury bill. Understanding a Treasury bill. Basically, the US government issues T-bills to fund the various public projects, which means the government is borrowing money from you to fund some of the projects, so that way you're also helping the country and the government, such as the construction of schools, highways, so on and so forth. When an investor purchases a T-bill, the US government is effectively writing an IOU to the investors. T-bills are considered a safe and conservative investment since the US government backs them. T-bills are normally held until the maturity date. I'll give you step-by-step instructions as to how you can find the maturity date. However, some of the holders may wish to cash out before the maturity and realize a short-term interest gain by reselling the investment into the secondary market, which is when it becomes a little bit more complex. But if you are a straightforward investor that wants to put the money, let's say for 6 months or 8 months or maybe 1 year, you probably are not worried about all these things. Now, the T-bill maturity date. Let's talk about T-bill maturities. T-bill can have maturities or just a few days or up to the maximum of 52 weeks as I just mentioned. But the common maturity dates are 4, 8, 13, 26, and 52 weeks. I will share exactly how much money in interest you can make in this time period that is given by the government at the moment. On an average, the longer the maturity date, the higher the interest rates that T-bill will pay to the investor. If you need differentiating between T-bill, T-notes, or T-bond, you really want to search more onto the government treasury website, and you should be able to get a ton more information. The purpose of this video is only to talk about T-bills and differentiate between the interest rates for brokered CD as well as T-bills. Now let's talk about a little bit T-bill redemptions as well as the interest earned. Now, T-bills are issued at a discount from the par value, which is known as the face value of the bill, meaning the purchase price is less than the face value of the bill. For example, a $1,000 bill might cost investors $950 to buy the product, which means when the redemption will happen, you should be able to get the face value if you have the money all the way up to the maturity date. When the T-bill matures, the investor is paid the face value or the par value of the bill that they bought. If the face value is amount to that is greater than the purchase price, the difference in the interest will be earned for the investor. The T-bills do not pay regular interest payment with a coupon bond, but T-bill does include the interest reflected in the amount that it pays to the maturity to the investor. Now, one of the biggest advantage of having T-bill is the tax bill considerations. Now remember, I am not a tax expert or not a CPA. So you really want to contact someone who is licensed and certified professional. Based on what I see in InvestU, to also look into further Investopedia because it has ton of information. The T-bill tax consideration, the interest income from the T-bill is exempt from the state and local income tax, which is one of the biggest advantage of having Treasury bill. However, the interest income is subject to the federal income tax. You can get the exemption from the state and local income tax, but you will be needed to pay the federal income tax. Investors can access the research division of the Treasury Direct website for more information. I will link the website into the description below, so do make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get all the links that you need. If you want to purchase this T-bill, there are two ways that you can buy. You can buy them directly from the government or in the secondary market through a broker. Buying a T-bill from Treasury Direct is new issues of T-bills can be purchased at the auction held by government on the Treasury site. I will show you within 1 second how you can do that. So here is the site home.treasury.gov. I'll put this link into the description of this video below as well. On the screen that you see right now is the 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 13 weeks, 17 weeks, 26 weeks, and 52 weeks, which is 1 year, and the interest rates based on the bank discount and the coupon equivalent. And you should be able to get these rates in real time using the site and the link in the description below. If you take a look for 4 weeks, you should be able to find based on the date what is the interest rates on the Treasury bill. So as an example, October 3rd, 2.75%, which is the bank discount, and coupon equivalent is 2.79. Now, if you think about the 21st of October, the interest rates are going higher, and you should be able to see 3.42% if you're checking that at the moment while I'm recording this video, and you should be able to see 3.48 coupon equivalent. And if you go all the way through the 52 weeks, you should be able to also see the interest rates goes higher and higher. So if you go from left to right, from 4, 8, 13, 17, 52 weeks all the way through, you should be able to see that it starts from 3.42 and goes all the way up to 4.38%. And with the coupon equivalent, which is 4.59%, which is a pretty heavy interest rates or pretty high interest rates in other words. Now you might ask me a question, then what is the difference at the moment between the interest rates in the CD, the bank CD that you can get from any bank, as well as the brokered CD that we talked in my previous video as well, and this T-bills. So I already explained the T-bill for 52 weeks is 4.59 or 4.38, depends upon however you want to buy it, and you should be also able to get 17 weeks or maybe 13 weeks based on how long you want to park your cash for. Now, if you think about the bank interest rates, you can just Google it and you should be able to find many websites that can offer you the best CD rates within your state, town, or in your federal union, so on and so forth. But here on the screen, you should be able to see the 14 best CD rates for the October 2022. As you can see, for 1 year, Discover offers 3.25 APY. APY stands for annual percentage yield, which means how much effective interest rates that you're going to get at the end of 1 year at the maturity is called annual percentage yield. The interest rate might be slightly lower because it might have some cumulative effect of the interest rate. But if you take a look, for $2,500 as the minimum FDIC insured, you should be able to get 3.25 with Discover, with many other banks including Capital One. As the time period goes higher from 1 year to 3 year to 5 year, you should be able to see the increment into the interest rates from 3.25 to 3.40 and 3.5% for 5 years. Now, I understand you may or may not want to lock the money for 5 years, which is why people are looking for lower time frame or shorter time frame and better interest rates. Another great options that we talked about in my previous video, the link I linked before into this video, and you can find on my channel as well, that is the brokered CD. If you really want to understand what is a brokered CD, that is the certificate of deposit or CD that is an investor can purchase through the brokerage firm or from the sales representative. Let's say if you're using Fidelity or Vanguard or any other firm. Now, fixed income and brokered CD, you can get a pretty high interest rate, pretty lucrative interest rates. As you can see, for CD 3 months 3.70, 6 months 4.15, 4.35 for 9 months, as you can see on Fidelity at the moment, and this is subject to change, so you might want to verify before you purchase, and you want to shop around where you can get the best interest rate. You can get 4.50 for 1 year, and if you take a look, go back instead of on the T-bill, which is 4.59. But the fun is you can invest larger amount and don't worry about the security of the money that you are investing, because there might be some limitation. As an example, whenever you buy the brokered CD, but let's say if you want to invest $1 million, might be more safer with the Treasury and T-bond for 1 year, because you're getting a lot more security on the funds that you're putting in, and you're getting the higher and better interest rates with the peace of mind. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.